We all know how white substance feel, but what if a bear consumes too much white substance? Let's figure it out. At the beginning of the movie, we see a guy, probably a drug dealer, dancing and inhaling a white substance in a plane that is flashing red lights. The guy is throwing out the white substance bags as he enjoys himself. But before jumping to, he slips and hits his head on the floor, falling unconscious and ending his life. Later, we see a couple hiking in the depths of a forest in Georgia. They are talking about weddings and baby names. Walking through the forest, they come across a bear and decide to take pictures of it. But the man realizes there is something wrong with the bear as it is banging its head on the tree trunk. Soon, the bear sees them and charges the husband while running, trips, and the bear leaps over onto his finance, killing her. The man takes leave as the bear munches on his girl. A news report can be seen mentioning the events of a white substance raining from the sky and a person losing his life from falling. Police officers are investigating the scene to figure out who was the kingpin behind this white substance. Their suspicion drives them toward a guy named Sid. The detective on the case, whose name is Bob, thinks there are more white substance bags out there. Now he has a theory and has to pursue it. The scene changes and we see a guy named Howard who is talking with Sid, the primary target of the police. Sid offers a job to Howard to complete the drug delivery, which was failed miserably the last man. He also tells him to take his son as a partner, whose name is Eddie. Howard doesn't want to bother Eddie because his wife just died, and he lost everything. But Sid stays firm on his decision. Now, we are introduced to a nurse named Sari. She is getting ready for her shift while having a troubled argument with her daughter. Sari is also trying to convince her daughter Dee Dee to come with her to Nashville with her boyfriend to see his band. Howard goes to see Eddie in a bar, eating pasta and crying over his pain. He keeps crying while Eddie fills him with the mission details. The next morning, Dee Dee leaves her house with her friend Henry. They skip school to roam in the wild. Their absence from the school is informed straight to her mother, who is instantly afraid. Sari finds a backpack belonging to Dee Dee in which she finds a map with a marked location of a place named Secret Falls. On their way, Dee Dee and Henry find the missing white substance. Remembering they were introduced to such packages at school, they figure out this is white substance. Their excited little souls make them taste the drugs. They want to sell these drugs but have no clue what they are worth or whom to sell them to. Looking around the area, they find more packages, but these are torn open. We see the bear sneaking behind their back, stealing some cheese. The bear gets in front of them and sneezes the drugs on the kids' faces. They scream in fear as the scene cuts. Meanwhile, we see Eddie and Howard in a car making their way to the location. Eddie again is crying and sharing his feelings as he mourns the loss and complains about his father. Sari visits a nearby station to alert them about her daughter and ask for guidance. But the Rangers Liz and Peter are already heading towards the area. Sari tags along with them and leaves. As they are getting out of the station, we see Eder and Howard entering the station in a car. Howard in the men's room is disturbed by some teenagers who are trying to mug him. But Howard shows them their place, making them regret it. Even though he gets stabbed in the back, he manages to knock out all of them. Eddie finds a pack of white substances from one of the kids. Both interrogate the kid, but he tries to hold back the information. But pointing a gun at his face, they force him to take them to the place where the white substance is hidden. Now we see the Rangers with Sari finding the children's footprints. Sari loudly calls for Dee Dee, but instead Henry answers her from above a tree. He says he climbed the tree to get away from the beast. He says Dee Dee was taken by the bear. Just then the bear attacks Peter, dragging him into the bushes. Liz blindly shoots at the bear, but her partner is also in the shooting zone. Peter falls right on the white substance and some of it goes up his nostrils. The bear sneaks from behind and attacks Liz, throwing her feet away. Peter manages to climb a nearby tree. The bear tries to climb the tree Henry is on. Even though it is a big thick bear, it manages to climb slowly. But while climbing, the bear smells a new fresh white substance. It smells the white substance off Peter's body and drops down the tree and rushes over to the one Peter is sitting on. While Sari helps Henry get down, the bear has ripped apart Peter on top of the tree. Sari and Henry talk about the incident and Henry shows her the way Dee Dee had run away. On their way, Sari and Henry notice some blood on the rocks. Sari is scared her daughter is injured, but in reality, it's just red color paint. Soon, they also find some blue color and figure Dee Dee is leaving behind a trail for help. They follow her while we see Liz getting back limping to the station. The busted kids, whimpering in pain, are waiting for her inside the station. But they hear stomp outside the station. Liz forces one of the kids to open the door while she is pointing the gun at the doorway in fear. After opening the door, Liz blindly shoots and blows the brains out of the teen. The bear gets a brain shower and gets out of the way. The other kids close the door as they hear rumbling from above the house. Liz, thinking the bear is coming in from the chimney tunnel, points her gun. But the bear is smart and grabs one of the kids through the door. Bob arrives near the station and calls for medics after noticing the blood. But when the medics reach, they have to push the door with all their might because a dead body is blocking the door. After getting in, they see wounded Liz. One of the medics enters a dark room just to get attacked by the bear. The bear traps the medic under a door and keeps stomping on it. The medic manages to slap the bear with a red bag, making it think white substance must be inside the bag. While the bear is distracted, the medics run out. His partner, who has boarded wounded Liz inside the ambulance, starts the car. But the bear is not done yet. It keeps chasing them and leaps at the right moment, getting inside the ambulance. The bear throws out the wounded Liz. The medic, in fear, drives the ambulance into a tree, killing herself. After all three are dead, the bear leaves. Later, we see the kid walking with Eddie and Howard. Eddie, being depressed again, starts to share his feelings. The kid comforts him, annoying Howard. What they are unaware of is that Detective Bob already noticed the bag of drugs and took away the stash. After arriving at the location, the kid is shocked to see the bag is missing. Howard starts threatening the kid while he cowers behind Eddie for protection. Detective Howard arrives on top of the structure and points his gun at the three of them. Howard goes for his gun, but Bob takes a well-aimed shot, blowing away some of Howard's fingers. Howard again tries the same tactic, but this time manages to hide from the detective. The bear arrives at the scene. Eddie and the kid lay down lifeless in an attempt to be safe. The bear, tired from all the running and rampage, decides to sleep on Eddie, crushing him. Howard comes close, thinking the bear passed out, but suddenly drops a package of drugs, waking up the hungry beast. The bear gets up, swallowing the whole package at once. As the drugs are kicking in, the bear decides to dance with Eddie. To save them, Detective Bob showers some of the drugs on the bear, distracting him. He shoots away one of the packages to make the bear run away. Bob gives them a chance to run, but instead, Howard points the gun at the officer. A shot can be heard as Bob falls with a gunshot in his stomach. But Howard didn't take the shot, it was Sid. Sid comes running and asks for the white substance, because if he can't deliver the drugs, many big people will follow him. They retrieve their tracks to get the bag, but Bob has already pushed over the bag, letting Bear take it. But now, while they are talking it out, Bob's partner arrives and freezes everyone at gunpoint. But later, it is revealed that the partner was working with a criminal. This shows the corruption in the police department. They all leave to find the drugs, leaving Bob behind to die. They miss the bag of white substance hanging from the tree and keep walking. We are taken back to Sari and Henry, who are crossing a river. They meet the guy hiker we saw at the beginning of the film. Starving Henry instantly starts munching on the hiker's stash of food, while Sari is trying to ask if he saw her daughter Dee. He agrees to show them where she might be and takes them to a dark, spooky cave. He hands over his torch and denies to come with them inside the cave. Inside the cave, we see baby bears snorting the bag of white substance. Clearly, the mother bear introduced her bag image to her kids. Nearby, Sari finds her daughter, who has injured her leg. They hear a big roar from the bear and decide to leave. They can't go back out as the bear is heading. They decide to go deeper into the cave and find a waterfall. The criminals also arrive at the cave, but both Howard and Eddie are trying to convince Eddie they should go back, because on their way in they saw the dead body of the guy hiker. However, they get the first bag. But Sid is still not satisfied and wants to go deeper for more. The criminals meet Sari and others while the baby bears attack Sid holding the white substance bag. Sid orders his son Eddie to shoot the baby bears. But Eddie doesn't want to and declines to shoot. Sid tells Howard to shoot the babies as he throws his rifle at Howard. But instead, Sari catches the rifle and points it back at Sid. Soon enough, the mother bear arrives and shouts a loud roar. Sari with Henry and Dee jumps down the waterfall to escape the chaos. Sid throws one of the packages to distract the baby bears. Eddie and Howard jump too, leaving just Sid behind. In the chaos, Sid shoots the mother bear, making her tremble. The bear seems to have died and her cubs are crying and mourning. But as Sid is climbing up, he drops a package. The drugs go directly into the bear's nose, waking her up. The bear in one go ends the drug dealer's life, and her cubs join in for their feast. They push over his lifeless body and regain the 2 bags of white substance. The next morning we see the group splitting up and going on their way. Sari with her daughter and Henry are walking past the wrecked ambulance as the cops are arriving. In the end, we see someone trying to film the mother bear playing with her cubs. But the bear notices the cameraman and gives out a creepy smile.